So yesterday was a big day. Looking at your cash flow daily is empowering to the decisions that you make every day and to getting rid of some of that fear that can be overwhelming at times as business owners. Even without COVID or recession or inflation or all of those things, it's stressful to be a business owner. But hopefully you found that the daily cash flow check is a great complement to the things that you were already doing, that it's a way to tie in looking at your P&L and understanding the differences. Because there's always going to be differences, and that doesn't make the P&L wrong or anything else that you're looking at wrong. But the cash flow check is the ultimate way to make sure that you know exactly what is going on. And not just something that your bookkeeper does, but something that you do to transform the way that you run your business and your life. So today's exercise and today's discussion is all about you. So we did the exercise of looking at your weekly forecast all the way down to your bottom line, to looking at your cash flow every day and really understanding how much is your business earning every week. So the question is, do you know how much you earn out of your business every week? If the answer is that you're not taking a paycheck, then we're doing something wrong. Because there's always going to be a challenging time. There's always going to be the thing that the business needs this month and can't do without this month. And if we can't live within the parameters of the business and still provide for you and your family, I promise you will be stressful and overwhelmed and not the best leader that you can be. That we have to value your time. You working for free in your business is hurting your business. I've had discussions with clients where we're talking about the labor and I'm saying, it looks good, right? You're running a 35% labor. That's awesome in today's environment. You know what they say? Well, I put in 80 hours last week. I haven't been home for a day in a month. But if you're not paying yourself or tracking those hours, it's not on your P&L. So we're looking at a false number for labor and we're looking at a false sense of the bottom line. And not just that, we're training your business to not be able to live without you. This is where weekly accountability is so important because it isn't just accountability for your restaurant, it's accountability for your time. If you are working in the business, we have to find a way to get you paid for that. Otherwise, your business will never be able to replace you. Why would it ever replace free labor? But if we pay you as the executive chef, if you're in the kitchen, then there's an incentive to replace you with someone who's less costly. Your business has to appreciate the value of you. And if you are not taking compensation, it never will. Think of it like children, right? We start off as parents and we do everything for them, right? We clean, we clean up dirty diapers, like we're there. But when they're 10, 11, 12, we can't be there in the same way that we were when they were 2 or 3. If your business is 10, 11 years old, do you treat it like an adolescent where it has to learn to live without you? Or are you still there picking up all of the pieces and making sure that nothing falls to your own detriment? Because I'm telling you, if that's how you are, you're not setting it up for success and setting it up for selling one day. So today's exercise and tying this in weekly is incredibly important. We have to track the money that you are earning out of your business every week as a percent of sales. Ultimately, for the business to be healthy, the number that we really want to start looking at for that bottom line number is 10%. For there really to be no cash flow issues and payrolls and sweating payrolls and sales tax, for all of that to go away, the bottom line has to be 10%, which gives us a 10% of our sales buffer for the one-offs or the things that the business has to have this month and those sorts of things. But that 10% has to also include you. It can't be sacrificing you in order to get to 10%. So today is about what is the money that you would like to earn every week or need to earn every week. Now, I'll go one step further. Obviously, we're not going to say $20 million, right? So we want to be realistic here, but we want to think of your role. So if you are more of a passive investor and the business really runs itself right now, then we would want to look at it as almost a distribution. So the business earns 12% to the bottom line. I'm earning $4,000 a week net. I decide to take $1,000 a week distribution, and I'm going to leave $3,000 in because that's my 10%. But if you're working in the business, then you should at least be getting paid your highest salary position. So at a minimum, if your GM is making $70,000, that's a good starting point for you. So divide that by 52, and that's what you should be taking home every week. Now, again, you might say, well, that's, really easy to say. If we don't see you in the equation, we're never going to factor you in, right? So the idea of I'm going to sacrifice now for a better future, it doesn't exist if we don't factor you in now. If we don't see what the bottom line is with you in it, we're never going to be able to push the needle forward to make sure that the business can sustain paying you and all of the other expenses. So this is as urgent as anything else, because I promise you will be a better leader if you are compensated than you are if you're not. You will resent your manager if you are not getting paid and the manager is. And the manager won't understand, right? Why is he always mad at me? Why is he yelling at me? What does he expect of me? Some of that's just pay. That you say, I am paying all of this money and I'm still working and not getting paid. So to get rid of that frustration, we have to value your time. Your time is worth money. So that is what we're going to do. So what you'll see on the forecast is what I want you to do is add a line for your pay. Now, if it's already included, I want you to break it out down below. If it's not included yet, then we want to include it now and really get into the habit of taking a weekly pay. Starting this week, there is no excuse for not taking a pay, because just like children, if we're always there coddling and taking care of them, they're not going to be functioning adults. So your business has to be a functioning adult. And if it needs you in there on a Friday night, then you should get paid just like everybody else in your organization. You are worth it, I promise. And I promise we will find a way to make it work. But without seeing you in the equation, we won't know what that number needs to be. Only you know what that number needs to be to make your life work. So you're not in credit card debt and you're not sacrificing and you're not stressed. What is that number? So take a couple minutes today and really think about that. Again, realistic for now, but make sure it's also something that makes your life work. And I think this is a really good starting point because, again, you're an entrepreneur. You have great vision of the future, but we need to see that vision for not just what works for the business, but what also works for your life. So I think you'll find this is really empowering time to think about you and put you first, because if you are not compensated, this business will not reach its potential. So thank you for taking time today, and I look forward to working with you on the rest of the challenge.